Hey there, Tamir from Fibonacci-Traders.com, your weekly market recap. Like, subscribe, and let's get prepared for the last week of 2023. As usual, we will go over SPY and Friends on the weekly charts. You know these trend lines, you know this green uptrend channel. We have drew this channel a few weeks back, and now once again at the top of the channel with a doji, which means careful now. Some kind of a pullback, retracement, cool off will be very healthy after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 consecutive green candles on the weekly. 8 is a Fibonacci number. Everything comes down to trend lines and Fibonacci, retracement, cool off, back to the 463 even, might be very healthy before the next leg up. We can take Fibonacci. 464 is the support. Next resistance above this trend line. We are heading towards a new all-time highs, and then 500. Will we see new all-time highs before 2024? No one knows. We are not here to predict. We are here to ask ourselves, what if? What if price will continue its bullish trend to the upside? We will see these levels 480 and 501 cool off. What will happen? We will see 464 and this red line that will act from resistance to support. Same thing goes for the QQQ. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 consecutive green candles on the weekly. 8 is a Fibonacci number where price of the Qs went all the way to a Fibonacci extension. We had this uptrend extension together with this trend line. This trend line goes way back to, look here, January of 2018, resistance, resistance, support, resistance, resistance, and not surprising, once again resistance. It all comes down to Fibonacci, candlestick analysis, trend lines, multi-time frames. Once you master all these three things, you will become your own indicator and you will be financial freedom. Dow Jones all-time highs, 377 now is the resistance. Doji after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not surprising. 8 consecutive green candles also on the Dow. Some kind of a pullback to 365. And then next leg up. IWM finally, barely, but closed above the 200 area. Let's clean the chart a little bit. We can take Fibonacci, swing low, swing high, above the 200. Now let's see this area holding as support, and then next leg up 210. 210 will be a very tough resistance for IWM bulls. Why? Look left. It was support over here. Very important area of support during January of 2021 all the way to January of 2022. 1 year of support. Broke to the downside, and then since January of 2022 to April of 2022, 4 months of resistance until it broke to the downside. Now getting retested as resistance once again. Very, very tough resistance it will be. Bitcoin, 3 consecutive weeks moving sideways. 40K holding a support. 44,500 as resistance. Let's see continuation towards the 48 area. This trend line from support to resistance. Next will be the 50 area. Also look left. All this area. Next resistance together. Maybe over here. A little bit lower. Over here at the 48, 49. And then next leg up towards this area, the 52. All we need to do is look left and try to identify with our own eyes where price came from and where price might be heading next. Ethereum on the weekly, holding above this zone. This red zone was a very difficult resistance zone. Look here, since May of 2022, each and every time price of Ethereum tried to break up and above, got failed. Now, from resistance to support, 3 consecutive weeks. Now let's see continuation above 2360 towards this trend line over here. This trend line goes way back. Here, as you can see, resistance, resistance. So, by natural things of price action, higher highs, we will see 2660. And if you're lazy, you can just take Fibonacci. Ask Fibonacci where price might be heading next. What if price will continue above the 2360? We will see 2650 together with this red line, KRE, struggling with an uptrend line, the upper border of this uptrend channel, high, higher high, last week higher high, this week the doji inside candle, very healthy after this bull run since 39 all the way to 54 in just less than 2 months. Very bullish trend. Now take Fibonacci. 50-30 was support, resistance. Now needs to hold as support. Next leg up above this area, and we will see 60 and 68 to the upside. Crude oil moving sideways, nothing much. 3 consecutive weeks between the 70 and the 74. Look left, same price action we got over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks between the 70 and the 74. We can expect the same price action, few weeks moving sideways until price of crude oil will decide whether to go up or continuation to the downside. Any way price will choose where to go, all we need to do is follow it and use Fibonacci to let us know where price is heading next. Next support to the downside, next resistance to the upside. Natural gas trying to bounce off the 222. Last week we had doji. Now we have a bounce towards the 268 and 284. All this area, very tough resistance area. Above it, we will see 3 and then 364. But one candle at a time, I want to see at least another 3-4 days above the 268, and then we can start taking our long position on natural gas. And of course, everything you see and hear on my channel is for educational purposes only. As we always say, like a broken record, it's perfectly fine to follow others to get ideas. But in the end of the day, it's your money. Take care of your money. No one else will do it for you. Gold, let's see, break above 2080 after 4 consecutive weeks. This area, the 2080, very tough resistance, breaking up and above. And in my opinion, we will meet this upper trend line once again as resistance. It was support over here, resistance over here, resistance over here. So by natural things of price action above 2080, we will meet this area once again as resistance. SOXX 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 8th candle is a doji inside candle. Bulls of SOXX this week went off holidays. Let's see how they will come back. For now, we are in a very nice bull trend on SOXX. Above 575, we will meet 600 together with this trend line, always follow the trend. The trend is your friend. This is why we use trend lines. Why? Because trend lines and Fibonacci goes infinite to the future. All the rest of the indicators that you have here, all the rest of them are purely lagging, which means they follow price, which means if you have a strategy based on these technical indicators, your strategy is lagging. I don't say if it's good or bad strategy. If it works for you, perfectly fine. Don't change your strategy. But if you have a strategy based on any of these indicators and it's not working, change your strategy for something that is not lagging. Fibonacci and trend lines. By the way, you have a small button in the bottom of this video. It's called the like. Next to it, have the subscribe. Next to it, have the share. Click on them. It will be much appreciated. Help me grow the channel. Let's reach broader audience and let's help more people together to become better traders. Not only better technical analysts, better traders. There is a big difference between looking at a chart, drawing some lines, and really trade what we see. It's a very big difference. So like, subscribe, share with friends. It costs nothing. Apple on the weekly, 198 as a all-time highs. Not surprising, very tough resistance. But always prepare for both sides. Ask yourself, what if Apple bulls will coming strong and break above the 198 on the weekly? Look up. You have all the levels to the upside: 208, 222, and then 265. But what if Apple will break below the 190? You have the 185. And what do you see here? First top, second top, double top scenario on Apple on the weekly, which means all these levels to the downside needs to hold. If Apple will break below the 185, we are heading towards the 177 and then 165. Breaking below 165, we are heading back to the 150. Always prepare for both sides. Never be biased for one side. Follow price, look left, where price came from, and with high probability you will understand where price might be heading next. Tesla on the weekly, we have this massive downtrend line since November of 2021. In this week, previous week, we have a doji below a trend line. Once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks. Tesla tried, and now, once again, got rejected with a doji. Doji of a trend line is the most significant signal of what might come as a trend reversal. Trend reversal, in this case, to the downside, 240, 230, 214, and then 193. If you are not long yet on Tesla, as you can see, I have my alert above the 260. I'm waiting for a few days, closing above this red line. Not just one day, not 2 days, not even 3 days. Maybe I will wait for a week or a week and a half above this trend line. Why? Because the sentiment for now on Tesla is to the downside. One daily candle or even one weekly candle will not change the overall sentiment. We need to see a strong and a solid break up and above this red line. If you want to know more about trend lines, Fibonacci, and of course, in-depth candlestick analysis, aka pure price action on multi-time frames, and then you will be able to trade whatever you want on any time frame that you want. Day trading, swing trading, stocks, ETFs, futures, crypto, forex, long, short, day trading on the 5 minutes or swing trading on the monthly. It all comes down to one strategy: understanding in-depth candlestick analysis, multi-time frames, broadening formation. And here you have, once again, broadening formation, Amazon, a doji of a trend line. Look left, what happened before in the past once Amazon reached this trend line. Over here, pullback, doji, pullback, doji, bounce. Now once again a doji. Will we have a pullback? Ask Fibonacci. Below 146 area needs to hold. We can be a little bit more accurate. 147.75 is the support. Why? Look left. It was a very tough resistance for all these weeks before. Now, from resistance, needs to hold the support. Below it, we will see 143. Below 143, in my opinion, 135. But what if Bulls of Santa will come in super strong? We will see break above this area and then 166 and 180 to the upside. Microsoft still moving sideways, nothing much. Long continuation above 377 towards this red line. Look left, this red line goes way back to May of 2022. Each and every time, price of Microsoft reached this trend line, got rejected, but it's a good resistance. Why? Because it shows us higher highs. So yes, there is such a thing as a good resistance. A resistance for higher highs is good resistance. But what if price will break below the 361.70 area? No need to guess. We have Fibonacci. We have the 350 and 335 to the downside. Meta finally breaking above this massive resistance zone. As you can see, since July, all this zone was a very tough resistance. Now came a very bullish candle to the upside, 5.5% to the upside on the weekly. Now, ask yourself where price of Meta might be heading next. All-time highs, 390 to the upside. What a V-shape since October of 2022. Amazing. Shopify, once again, trend lines, aka broadening formation. This trend line, look left, resistance, resistance, support, resistance, and in the past 4 weeks or so, once again resistance. Now we have a doji. This area, 70-80, needs to hold the support. Below it, we will revisit this orange trend line, the lower border of this broadening formation. Breaking up and above, we will enter this uptrend channel, same as we were here. AMD bulls went on vacation. Doji, now 133 needs to hold. Long continuation above 146.60 towards the 165. Can we get 165 before the end of 2023? A little bit far for just few days of trading. but you have this trend line that shows you next resistance is the 154. Google, broadening formation, finally breaking above the 141 area. It was a very tough resistance. Now broke up above, needs to hold, and then next leg up towards this area, the 154. We can take Fibonacci once again. Fibonacci will let us know that this area, the 148 to 150 together with this trend line, will be the next resistance. Nvidia still struggling with this red zone, the 501 area, the 501, 505. And what do we have here? Top number 1, top number 2. Double top scenario on Nvidia. 476 needs to hold. Then we will see 457. Below 457, brace yourself. We are heading back to 400 area. But prepare for both sides. What if Nvidia will finally succeed to break up and above? Where are we going next? 535 and 580 to the upside. Let me know, what do you think about Nvidia? What's more likely to happen? Breaking above this red zone towards the 580, or breaking below and back to 400? Let me know in the comments below. Very interesting to know your thoughts. Last but not least, Netflix broke above the 482 area. Resistance over here, resistance over here, broke up and above, but closed the week not so good. Now 464 areas, for all this area, needs to hold the support. We also can take Fibonacci. Long continuation, we can take Fibonacci from here. Long continuation if 483 will hold. Next we have 510, 550 area, and then towards this area over here at the 580. Always prepare for both sides, ladies and gentlemen. Never be biased. Always ask yourself, what if price will succeed to break above this trend line? What if price will fail and go back? Always do it. 474, below it you have all the levels to the downside together with this lower border of this broadening formation. What if long continuation above 500? You have 532 and 577. This is why we use Fibonacci and trend lines, because they help us to identify future price action. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, like, subscribe, share with friends. Don't forget, more videos coming up in this long weekend. Until the next video, enjoy the rest of your weekend.